is earning the fish 2 rounds, maybe. I don't know. I think after passing the 2 rounds, I think maybe the fight will go to the distance.
Diego did have a moment or two where he was able to crack Volk. Volk's chin is not what it used to be, so I'm going to say his durability is definitely not the same with those two big, brutal knockouts back to back.
Maybe he's like, hey, I want Diego Lopes for my last fight, and maybe there's something there. Maybe UFC's being very generous in that way. Maybe they're like, hey, Volk's last fight, he's been a legend. He took a short notice on Islam. He's fought everybody.
The new fight everyone's talking about. MMA pros break down what to expect as Volkanovski faces Lopes 2 at UFC 325. Heading into the fight, the excitement is at an all-time high. So is the motivation. Alexander Volkanovski, speaking about the matchup, has made it clear that he's determined to make a statement this time. He already knows what Diego Lopes is capable of and is prepared to handle the damage better than in their first encounter.
Yeah, I mean, like, obviously it is a tough fight, but it's a fight we know we can win. So, but and there's a lot of things I can do differently to take minimal damage. We know what he's going to fire at us. I think I can do what I did last time, but do it better, and really set a statement.
Meanwhile, Diego Lopes isn't taking it easy either. Highly motivated and having learned a lot from their first fight, he's more eager than ever to bring explosive aggression this time around. Lopes even hinted that this fight could be decided in the first 2 rounds.
I think the prediction for this fight is okay. Maybe the fight is ending the fish 2 rounds, maybe. I don't know. I think after passing the 2 rounds, I think maybe the fight will go to the distance. But the people know me. I'm looking for the finish, like in the round 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's like if you have to send you one more 6 rounds, okay, one more round for try finish,
Having already faced Alexander in their first fight and feeling the sting of defeat, Diego Lopes is now not only motivated to seek revenge, but has also studied his own flaws. In their first encounter, he focused so much on landing a knockout that it distracted him from executing his overall game plan. This time, he's approaching the fight differently, planning a methodical, round-by-round strategy that builds toward a powerful finish, rather than rushing for an early KO.
Helped me a lot. Helped me a lot because now I see many things different too. I see many things different too. I see Volk is like he's so smart for adaptation round by round. I know now I need adaptation round by round too. But my goals is like finish the fight, I know look only for this. I remember the fish fight. I know I have a point in my hand. I knock him out. I only looking for the knockout. I forget my game plan. I forget many things. Special after the second round when I'm dropping him. I feel I think I'm knocking him out. I'm only looking for one big hand, But now it's different. I have the experience. I don't need this. I need this fight smart but aggressive at the same time still.
Dan Hooker shared his thoughts, noting that UFC booking this immediate rematch highlights both the risks and rewards involved. He emphasized that a fighter has to be extremely cautious as this fight presents a huge opportunity for both Volkanovski and Diego Lopes, also a high risk of loss and getting caught. In his view, however, nothing excites him more than watching this showdown unfold inside the octagon.
It's an exciting fight. Exciting fighters get to skip the line. There's obviously a toll and risk that comes off being exciting. You can obviously play it safe. You can play it safe, but it just takes a little bit longer to get to. It's harder. With high risk comes high reward. You can't have guys going out there putting on exciting fights, and with that comes losses, bro. You're going out there, you're pushing, you're looking for a finish. You open yourself up to be countered and to be beaten yourself. So it's what are you going to penalize guys for being exciting? And then what the fuck are we all sitting around watching?
Meanwhile, Aljamain Sterling weighed in with thought. While he still sees Volkanovski as the likely winner of the rematch, he warned that Lopes had his moments in the first fight. Sterling also noted that Volkanovski's chin may not be what it used to be, meaning a heavy-handed striker like Diego Lopes pose a real threat this time around.
Volk wins. I'm going to make sure I say that. But part of me feels like Diego did have a moment or two where he was able to crack Volk. Volk's chin is not what it used to be, so I'm going to say his durability is definitely not the same with those two big, brutal knockouts back to back. So with that said, you get past a dangerous, heavy-handed striker the first time. Yeah, you definitely won pretty convincingly, pretty dominantly. But now you got to take that puncher's chance with this guy again for another 25 minutes. And I kind of lean towards Diego getting the upset, but kudos to him, he just taking what the UFC gave him.
At the same time, criticized UFC for this matchup, noting that it isn't particularly appealing for a fighter's legacy at this point. While he praised Diego Lopes for always stepping up to any fight UFC bring, he suggested Lopes should have aimed for a bout with Anderson Silva instead. He added that taking a fight against Volkanovski, despite potential risk of pulling out, wasn't the smartest decision for Lopes. Puts him back into a high danger zone without significant legacy gain.
It's just because that's not the fight to make. And if I'm Volk, I'm surprised he didn't give a little more pushback on it. And I know he's whoever, anytime, anywhere, kind of a guy. But I mean, at this point, I would imagine if I were him, I would be fighting from like the remains of my legacy. I would want to get something that's going to mean something. Not just say I'm taking another risky fight. At that point, just fight Gene Silva coming off of a loss. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to fight someone who's entertaining, throw that guy in the mix. But the whole point is just supposed to be the guys who are riding win streaks, get the fans some momentum, something excited to be to want to watch.
While criticism of this matchup continued, one thing cannot be denied: Diego Lopes versus Alexander Volkanovski rematch, despite being unusual, generating a lot of excitement. Robert Whitaker shared his thought, praising the matchup and noting that it's definitely going to be a wild fight. He also highlighted that UFC 325 features multiple Australian fighters on the card, making it particularly noteworthy for Aussie fans.
A lot of Aussie talent on that undercard, and I love it when Australian cards are made, because the Australian MMA scene just goes crazy. We get like 5 new Australian, New Zealand UFC athletes. It's it's a really good time to make our statements and get a bit light here. And then we have Volk headlining with the title fight. We love to see. I mean, at least with Diego Lopes, we're going to see a fight.
Oh, I look, given that I know the circumstances around that fight being booked are strange, because
it was
arguably
super weird.
It was super weird, but you can't deny it's not going to be a good fight, right?
We're gonna see a fight. I'm gonna love being cage side to that.
Hell yeah. Oh yeah, so that popped up. I was telling Rob before, that popped up on the screen. I immediately booked my flights.
Max Holloway shared his thoughts on the rematch, asserting that Alexander Volkanovski is the favorite for a reason. He explained that when comparing their fight experience and skill set, Volkanovski has the edge over Diego Lopes, which makes him a formidable opponent despite Lopez's aggression and improvement since their first counter.
It's hard to go against Volk, bro. I think Volk have some information from the first fight. I think so. He's a champ for a reason. I think so. He goes out there and gets done. I think Volk has some favorable matchups at 45. I don't know why he would retire. His next challengers, if the challengers is the challengers, like his odds against like Moser and Murphy.
The rematch also carries emotional and psychological stakes. Both fighters are coming into this bout with more experience, sharper skills, and a clearer understanding of each other's strengths and weaknesses. Volkanovski is looking to solidify his dominance, while Lopes motivated to prove that he can adapt, evolve, and potentially overturn the previous outcome. The narrative of revenge, preparation, tactical evolution adds depth to what might otherwise be seen as just another fight on the UFC card.
Your first fight with Diego Lopes was a banger, a great back and forth. But when you look at who can improve more from that first fight, is it him with his youth or you with your experience?
I think myself with the experience. I think he's most dangerous because he's going to come forward, bring it, be that exciting fighter that he always is. That's when he's most dangerous, so I don't think he needs to change much.
From a promotional standpoint, this rematch is a perfect showcase for the UFC. Volkanovski's precision, experience, and reputation as a dominant featherweight, combined with Lopez's explosive power and fan following, make it a high-stake, marketable fight that draws attention from casual viewers and hardcore fans alike. Clash of style, the narrative of revenge, and the speculation around Volkanovski's potential retirement all contribute to its appeal as a marquee event. Every strike, every exchange, and the rivalry itself adds to the hype, ensuring UFC 325 will be a must-watch card and a major promotional success for the organization.
Okay, well, I think that's the easy part of this, is to sell it from the UFC's perspective. So, you say the fans don't like this, right?
They're not happy.
Right now, I think what the UFC want to do with this new deal with Paramount is deliver the biggest names possible for main events to get the most people to watch it. Given that they're not going to be charging for the events outside of a subscription in the US, they want it the most recognizable names possible. You have a guy in Diego Lopes who just beat Gian Silva in what I think most people consider the fight of the year. Like, if you were to poll fight fans on what the best fight of 2025 was in the UFC, I think they're probably going to lean with Lopes versus Silva. Is an amazing fight.
Ultimately, this fight is about more than just wins and losses. It's about strategy, legacy, and the thrill of competition at the highest level, with fighters at top of their game, expert commentary providing insight, and fans eagerly anticipating every moment. Volkanovski versus Lopes rematch at UFC 325 is shaping up to be a defining featherweight clash. Whether it ends in explosive early round finishes or a tense tactical battle through the later round, one thing is certain: this is a fight that no MMA fan will want to miss.
Maybe he's like, hey, I want Diego Lopes for my last fight, and maybe there's something there. Maybe UFC's being very generous in that way. Maybe they're like, hey, Volk's last fight, he's been a legend. He took a short notice on Islam. He's fought everybody. This is what he wants, and we're gonna let our champion pick. So there's that too.
Yeah, I mean that's as they would call that. They would call that.
He said he wanted Mazda.
Unless he's lying. Yeah, he said he wanted. He said that when what he said. He goes, I think there's other guys who deserve it more, like Mavzar, Lerone Murphy.
Adding to the intrigue, analysts have also highlighted the mental game rematch. Volkanovski enters with the confidence having previously defeated Lopes, but pressure to maintain his status as a dominant featherweight adds another layer of complexity. Meanwhile, Lopes carries the weight of his first loss, but also the lessons learned, making him sharper, more patient, and more dangerous than before. This dynamic creates a fascinating chess match inside the octagon, where one miscalculation drastically changed the course of fight.
He said, I believe they deserve it more, but it's a business and they want Diego Lopes. So if it's going to be Diego Lopes, it's going to be Diego Lopes, right?
My idea.
But no, like I said, this is me coming from an unbiased standpoint where I want to be, like, one of the things that, like, when I was watching One Championship, there was a kickboxer named Hiro Okamoto. Phenomenal kickboxer, throw combinations, upstairs, low kick, beautiful combinations. He fights a Muay Thai guy. This Muay Thai comes in and just absolutely destroys him. Just like it was a kickboxing fight, but he was good about when each time Hiro Okamoto would come in, he would throw the knee into the void and Hiro ran into it. He becomes the champion.
Finally, the stakes go beyond just the immediate matchup. There is growing speculation that this could be Alexander Volkanovski's final fight, as reports suggest he may retire after UFC 325. It's believed that Volkanovski worked the UFC to ensure Diego Lopes would be his last opponent, a fitting end to his career, given their history and the intensity of their rivalry. This adds an emotional layer to the rematch, as fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see if Volkanovski can go out on a high note. Every punt, takedown, and counterstrike carries extra significance, making this bout not just a clash of skill, but potentially the closing chapter of one of the featherweight division's most decorated careers.
The guy was on a massive win streak. He becomes a champion. Then all of a sudden, he just disappears. No word, no nothing. And I'm like, dude, I've invested my time to watch this athlete beat one of my favorite athletes, Hiro Okamoto, then he just disappears. I feel disrespected. I feel I'm pissed off as a consumer. It's like, that doesn't make sense to me. So when now that I'm in this position where I try to invest my time into hearing people's stories and telling people's stories and look at the division and look at, the landscape of it. And I'm sitting and I'm looking, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get behind this featherweight division. I'm watching this guy, Lerone Murphy. He's spinning back elbow. He's beating Aaron Pico. He's knocking people out. I'm like, all right, man, he's 9-fight win streak. Let's go.
One of the most interesting aspects of this rematch, how, despite some criticism and dislike of the matchup, it's still generating significant attention, and for good reason from a business perspective. Volkanovski may be the favorite on paper, but Lopes's growth and unpredictability make the fight intriguing for fans and analysts alike. Clash promises excitement, high stake, and the potential for dramatic moments. Translates into higher viewership, pay-per-view buys, media coverage. From a promotional standpoint, fight is a win. Both fighters bring storyline, skill, fan interest that ensure UFC 325 remains a must-watch event for audience worldwide.
Lerone Murphy had an incredible knockout against Aaron Pico. But if you're talking about who the fans know more, Diego Lopes has become a star in this sport. You also now have Paramount with a deal in all of Latin America. So having a fighter from the UK headline that event, again, if we're looking at meritocracy and we're looking at a guy who probably deserves it, I think Lerone Murphy probably deserves it. Especially given that Diego Lopes just fought Volkanovski. It was Volkanovski's last fight was against Diego Lopes. But if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, I think this is the bigger name value fight from their perspective. And you're asking from the UFC's perspective why they would put this together, and that's my answer for it.
Despite all this, if we talk about the fight, it is obvious that the strategy will play a critical role. Volkanovski's focus will likely be on maintaining distance, controlling the pace, and exploiting opening, while Lopes may attempt pressure early, force mistake, and land decisive power shot. This push and pull dynamic is what makes rematches so exciting. The fighter comes in with the knowledge of the other's tendencies, but must also innovate, gain the upper hand.
I think if he does, I think that's that would benefit me more, to be quite honest. But I just think there's more ways of winning for me, especially. I'm used to some rematches. Probably going to be his first one. But again, he's a dangerous guy, exciting. So I cannot wait to just go out there and do our thing.
As UFC 325 approaches, the anticipation for Volkanovski versus Lopes 2 continues to grow. Both fighters bring improved skill, experience, and a hunger to prove themselves, making this rematch a must-watch for MMA fans worldwide. From Volkanovski's precision and strategy to Lopes's explosive power and adaptability, every second inside the octagon promises drama, intensity, and unforgettable moment. No matter how it unfolds, this fight is set to define the featherweight division for months to come. If you're as excited as we are, hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our expert breakdowns and fight preview. Comment below with your predictions. Who do you think will take the win in this explosive rematch? And stay tuned for post-fight analysis, where we'll break down every strike, every takedown, and every key moment from UFC 325. Don't miss a single beat.